Hello, good evening, everyone. I hope I am audible. Uh, okay, yeah, please write in the chat box if I am audible, yes or no. Till then, let me just share my screen and we'll revise what all concepts we studied yesterday regarding basic CSS and intermediate CSS. Okay. Okay, from the start, like we studied about the introduction of HTML, and then we studied about the different like properties of CSS, like the color properties, how we can write like in different forms the colors. We can write them in RGB value or the hexa value. Then we can also add some of the text properties in CSS, like this. We can write like the text aligned to center, left or right, or we can make the text bold or lighter. We can use the text decoration to make the text underline. We can also increase line height, letter spacing, and font size. After that, we like studied about what are the selectors. So like this is the universal selector, and this is the element selector. Then we can also use the selector list. Then we have this id selector, and also we have the class selector, which we like specify using the dot. Then we had the descendant selectors and the adjacent selector, in which any paragraph tag which is present just like aside, just below or like immediate to h1, that particular section like css style will be applied. Then we had this direct child selector, in which the direct descendant will be selected. Then we have had that attribute selector, in which we can like write input and text. Then we had different pseudo classes and pseudo elements. Then we studied about the cascading properties and how specific are different styles in CSS. Then we studied about the box models, what are the different like margins and padding and borders that we can apply on like basically on our elements. Then we studied about the display properties, like inline block and inline block. So inline is like coming in a horizontal line, block is vertical line, inline block is both of their properties. Then we studied about the units. There are different type of units in CSS. Then we studied about like the opacity and the alpha channel. Suppose I write the RGB value, and I in the fourth portion, whatever like number I write, if I write 1, then it means opaque. If it is 0, then it means transparent. And we can also like add these alpha values or the transparency as the last two digits of our hexa code also. Then we studied about the position properties in CSS. So there are different position properties, like position static. They like top, right, bottom, left will have no effect on position static. Then we had this position relative option, and after that we had this position absolute, where we can like write the position absolute, and it will go out of the HTML flow, and then we can write like the top, bottom, left and right portions. We can just move it around on our web page. Then we had position like fixed. So what this fixed does, it remains stick on the like web page, and when we scroll down, then it remains on its designated position. Position sticky is also the same. The only difference is that it will continue to stay at its designated place in HTML document where it was previously located. As soon as I scroll down, it moves out of the screen and it works just like position fixed. Then we studied about how we can add like transitions to our HTML, like using transition of 1 second, like these stylings. Suppose I add circle, hover, and change the background color, then we can write transition, background color, and border radius. Then we studied about the transform properties, like we can rotate things and we can like do different like things, rotating is scaling it basically. Then we studied how we can change the background size, we can how we can change the background color, etc. After that, we studied about the flexbox properties in CSS. Like, there is this parent, and in this parent we apply display flex, and we give a direction to it. I also gave you the link of one website, which is the flexbox froggy, for like understanding all the concepts of flexbox. This is the main axis. If I write flex direction row, then justify content is justified in this axis basically. If I write like column, then it is justified on the like y-axis. Then we were studying about media queries yesterday. So suppose I want to like build what I can say, a responsive website which is like which can work on mobile also. Like a lot of websites, they do not work on mobile properly, the images are very big, and we want to like reduce their size as per like they should also look good on mobile view. So we create one website and design it to work on screens of different sizes. Suppose I want to use my website on tablet also, my website on like mobile phone also. So for that cases we use media queries. How we write media queries? We write at the rate media max width. And what max width means, that up till this width the property, my CSS property will work, and beyond that my CSS property will not work. If I write min width, then this means that minimum, up till this minimum width my CSS will work, and below this it will not work. Okay. And I can also add orientation in my like media queries. So if the orientation is like landscape, so in that case this particular style properties will work. Then we have the max mid min width. So suppose I give the like the max width should be this of a screen. Suppose I have like a div of 300 pixels, and I want it to like reduce its size to only up to 100 pixels. I don't want that if my screen is also reduced, then also 100 pixels should reduce. So in that case I write like max and min width. Okay. Then we have the orientation of portrait and landscape. We can write these like media queries in CSS. So I give you an assignment. I hope you are able to complete. You are having issues. I shared the notes yesterday. I don't know why it's not being shared with you. I shared the two session notes with you. I'll ask why they are not being shared. Okay. Let's just focus on like today's lecture. So we have this media queries. Suppose I like want to develop something like this. Let me just show you. If I just copy path, go back, hit refresh. Yeah. So this was my like pricing panel project. Okay. I inspect, go back, see. As soon as I what I do is, these three were coming in a single line. Okay. These three were coming in a single line. And now what has happened is, as soon as I reduce the screen size, they are getting smaller, and one particular like it has now become responsive. They are coming one below another. Okay. See, it is getting reduced or something like this. The images are also getting reduced, and the text is also like getting reduced. So this is like basically the responsive website. It can also, it will look good on mobile view also, and similar to these. So we have used media like media queries in this basically. Okay. So let me just go through the code of what assignment I gave you yesterday. So basically, suppose you have this doc type like HTML here. Okay. Doc type HTML. Then we write HTML language in English. Then we write head section, and then we write what, the body section below. So in the head section we write title, pricing model, and then we add style sheet links. Okay. So first of all, what they have done is, they have added Google Fonts link. Okay. They have added one Google Fonts link. I guess this font is Open Sans font from Google. They have added the link here, and they have added another link of my CSS file, that is styles.css. Okay. Then we come to the body section. So first of all, let's start building this from like scratch. Okay. So at first they have made a like parent div. Okay. A parent div. Let me just remove all of this. Yeah. So let me just remove the code that is present inside. Yeah. I am pasting it below for now and commenting it out. Rest of the code. Okay. So for now, what I have is I have this inside my body, this one div. Okay. This is basically my this I have this one div, and let me just call this div as what I can say. Let me just call it my parent div of every like everything. This is the biggest div, and this is the parent div here I have. Okay, let me just refresh my page so you can see I have one parent div which has this class of like panel. Okay, if I open my styles.css, let me open my styles.css file. Go here. See, I have used like multiple element selectors. Okay, I have added a lot of commas and everything, and I have given like margin zero, padding zero, and font size 100%, font inherit font, and vertical align. Like I have all given all these CSS to all of these like elements. Okay, so for now, let me comment everything. Let me just remove everything one by one. Okay, I have removed all of my like styles. Now this is a blank page. Okay, see, this is the blank page. So in the starting, what I have is I have this one div of like name pricing panel. So let's go and target pricing panel only. First of all, what we had to do, we have to give a like background of blue color to our web page. That was like designated in this assignment. So let me start with the body, and I have added background color of like this color to my body, and let me just I have given minimum height, like the minimum height that should be present for my body is 100 view height. Okay, so it will not go it will not reduce after this, after 100 vh. So let me just remove my display properties for now. For now I have like two styles applied here. The first is the background color, and the minimum height of body as 100 vh. Okay, let me just refresh it. So I have given this background color and a minimum height of 100 vh to my body. Now inside body, what do I have to like add is I have different divs inside this. Okay, this is my pricing panel, and inside this I have my three divs. Okay, so let me start by adding first div. This is my first div. I will add this particular div. I will add this div here. Okay, so inside my pricing panel, what I have done is I have added one div with the class name pricing plan. It contains image of like icons slash icon one dot png, and where it is coming from, let's check. It has one folder. I have one folder. Inside my folder icons, and they contain different like icons 1 dot png, 2 dot png, 3 dot png. So I what I have done, I have written src and then icons. Inside my icons folder I will go to icon1.png. I will give an alt to it, pricing image, and also one class, the pricing image. Okay, so after that I will write one heading. This is like personal. Then after I will write pricing features list of all the pricing features and the list items inside that. Then I have one written one span is like the short form of text, free, and then I have added this href of sign up. Let me just refresh. Yeah, see, so I have received this image, I have received this heading, the unordered list items, span of free, and sign up. So right now they do not contain like any styling over them. So what is the first like style property that is applied? That is for class pricing plan. Okay. So let me just check where is pricing plan in my CSS code. I have pricing plan. This is pricing panel. Okay. So what is written on my code? Yeah. So what is written on my code regarding pricing? I have this something for pricing panel also. Let me just take this and remove it from comments. So this is for my parent div. Okay, the pricing panel div, I have this for my parent div. This background color white, border radius is of 10 pixels, like it will be some slanted somewhat. Then I have given some padding, width, and the maximum width that it can have is 960 pixels. It will not go beyond this maximum width, it will not increase from this width. Okay, then I have this display flex property and flex direction column, text align center, and text transform uppercase. So for now let me just remove all of this. I'll just I'll just write my css up to this width portion. Like the pricing panel, it has background color, border radius, padding, and width of 100%. Let me just refresh what is there. See, so I have received background color white on my parent div, and also what I have is I have this 10 pixel border, 10 pixel border radius. Then what I have is padding of 15 and 25 pixels, 15 pixels top and bottom 15 pixels here, and 25 pixels from left and right. All the content is shifted 25 pixels, see, inside. So this is my padding, and then width 100% width. It's covering 100% width basically. So suppose what I write here is I write here max width of 960 pixels. Suppose I just remove it from here. I right here max width of 960 pixels. Let's see what happens. See, what has happened is as soon as I have given width 100% to it, as soon as I write like the my max width should be not more than 960 pixels. So this has like stopped at 960 pixels. It will not go like beyond 960 pixels. And if I inspect on it, then my width will remain 100%, but it will not go beyond 960 pixels. As soon as I go to like 960 pixels, it will start like reducing along with my screen. Okay, see, this is reducing along with my screen width, since it's covering 100% width of the screen, and it's like reducing. Okay, see, it's reducing. So that's how my max width property works. Now let me do one thing. I will style things inside my like this pricing panel div. So what I'll do is I will write display flex, flex direction column, and I will align my items. Since I've written like flex direction column, so they will be aligned on the x-axis of my like page, x-axis of my text. So they will all come to the like center. Okay, they will all come to the center of the page. Then what I have is I have given this text align center property also. After that, what I'll do, I will use this text transform. I will transform all the text that is present on my web page to uppercase letters basically. I've done this. Click on refresh. See, all of my text has converted into like this capital letters. Okay, so this was about the pricing panel, like about the parent div. Then what I have is I have for my child divs. Okay, like inside pricing panel I have pricing plan. Okay, and then these list items, So let me I can do is I will comment out all the pricing plan. Yeah, see, I have this pricing plan and I have pricing plan last child border to none. So let me just start with pricing plan. This first pricing plan. I'll comment out this style, paste it here. So what I've done is I've added bottom border to pricing plan, 1 pixel solid and of something like this color. Okay, let me just check what difference we get. See, we are getting some little bit of border at the bottom. We wanted this border only at the bottom. See, so that's why we have written border bottom, 1 pixel, it's solid and it's of this color. Fine. Then another thing that we can do is for like let me just add another div also here. Let me just add, this was my first pricing plan div. I will again add my another pricing plan div. Inside this div also, in my parent div, this is my second child div. Second child of parent div. Okay. I hit refresh. See, I have what I have got is I have got the second child. Similarly, I will paste the third one. This is my third child of parent div. See, this is my, like, all three of them have come to the on the like web page. But I want one thing. I want all of them to be in a single line. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll apply on my parent div the display flex properties. As soon as I write display flex properties, I give, like, it will be by default row. I give justify content center and align item center, and minimum height that I should have will be 100 VH. Go back, click on refresh. See, all of them have, what they have come is they have come all to the, like, center of the web page. Let me give the flex direction to row also. Let's check what happens. Okay, so why they are not coming on the same page? Because I have given them minimum, like, width of, max width of 960 pixels, so they will stay as it is for now. Let me just click on inspect and see what happens. See, they are getting, like, reduced. So up till now we have made them what, somewhat responsive. Okay, let me just add some styles to my image also. Let me just go back. Yeah, I have this pricing image. I have added some CSS on my pricing image. The bottom margin as 25 pixels and maximum width that it can attain is 100%. So it will take 100% of its parent width basically. Of It will take 100% of its parent width basically. Okay. If I inspect, what I'll see is this is getting reduced. Okay. As my images are also getting reduced as per the screen size. I have added all of this. Now let me add the style of, yeah. I have this pricing plan of last child, pricing heading, pricing features, items, all of this. I will just comment it out. Okay, price, pricing button. They are, all of them are like plain CSS here only. So let me just take all of these things. They also contain, like, the media queries. We have inside media queries the pricing panel and everything. They are all for pricing only. So I will use all of them. Yeah. So what have I done is I have pasted all, like, I have the pricing plan. The last child should not have a border. Okay. So my last child of pricing plan, like the third div of my pricing plan, will not contain a border. Okay. Let me just display it to you. My last like div does not contain a border below it, but my second div contains it. My second div has a border. My first div also has a border. Okay, border bottom. But my last div does not have a. So this is the use of last child. Then I have the pricing heading, and I want this pricing heading to be of color this font weight of 600 and letter spacing of 1 pixel. So what is my pricing heading? Basically my pricing heading is this small team and everything. Okay, this small team is my heading. So yeah, so this is particular thing of gray color is my pricing heading. Okay, this is my pricing heading, small team, personal. So they have received this css. After we have pricing features. Okay, so all of the features that I have, see, these are the features. They are in now blue color since I have given them this particular blue color. And they are also getting margin of 50 pixels on top, 25 pixel on left, like 0 pixels on left and right, and 25 pixels at the bottom. Okay, so this is like the uh, pricing features. Okay, and inside the pricing features items, I have given them this particular color. Inside the pricing features items, I've given them this particular color. Where is the pricing features items? See, they are the custom domain, sleeps after 30 minutes of inactivity. All of these are like pricing items, my pricing items. Okay, I have given the border of 1 pixel solid and of this color basically. So that's why this like blue dot, this dot has also become blue in color due to this particular class. Then I have this pricing, I want the pricing features last child to have this particular border bottom only. My pricing features last child, so it will only contain the border. Then I have the price, or it will be in blue color and a little bit bolder text. Then the button styles, all you can like apply them on your own by using all the css styles that we studied yesterday. Then what will be done on hovering them, and then the media queries like on minimum width, the flex direction will be row. After that it will change to like column. Then we have the pricing plan and everything, like there are the different styling applied to it. Then I have the simple like html styling. I will write it at the top. Okay, see, I click on refresh. Then what happens is I get this particular font family, Open Sans, that I like imported from Google Fonts, and the box sizing will be of border box. Okay, the border box sizing will be applied here. If I inspect, then you can see that it's working. As soon as I reach the 900 pixel mark, they will be changed to columns. Okay, so this is like about my like the assignment that I gave you yesterday. Okay, I have also written the full code here. Now I'm just like ignoring the grid system portion for you all. It works similar to like our like flexbox system. There are some of the changes, you can study them on your own since we have like time constraints, so I'm not going to tell you about this. It works similar to like flex. You can use any of them, like you can use the flex properties or you can use the grid properties based on your interest only. Then we have these css animations. You can also apply them using the three keyframes. Okay, if like at 0% time, what will happen? At 25% time, what will happen? At 50% time, what will happen? You can like add animations by this. There are a lot of animations present in css. You can google and check them. And in the direction, we can like start and we can define the start and finish. Let me show you some code. See, I have here animation of like orbit of like 4 seconds. It should be linear and the animation will be infinite type. I have added this. Okay, and in keyframes, I have defined what orbit animation is about. So, what is this orbit animation? It will start from transform rotate to 0 degrees. Like at the transform, there will be 0 degree rotation and it will transform to 360 degrees. So, this is my orbit animation, and I have written this orbit animation here as linear infinite. So let's check what happens. See, what is happening here is they are like moving infinite times. Let me show you guys, and let me just close it. Yeah, so this is my keyframe animation. So what I have here is I have this like loader. Okay, I have this class of dot, four dots. Okay, four div with dot and nothing else. I don't have anything else here. This is my container, and this is my like box. Okay, now let me just go to its styles.css file. I've given like margin, background color, and everything to my like body. This gap 200 pixels come from the like grid systems. Okay, so we can use this grid system also. Then what we have is we have this container of width like 300 pixels and a height of 300 pixels. This will be of color white, and this will have this particular animation. What it should orbit with in a duration of like 4 seconds linearly and in an infinite way. Then we have this container's border radius as 50%, so that's why this circle has become circular in shape due to this border radius. Okay, now let's check like orbit, what this particular thing is doing. Only the like I have applied this particular animation. Let me just do one thing. For now I will remove all the uh, like box animations so that I can show you what particular animation orbit is doing on container only. Okay, just a second. Okay, so I have removed the animation stylings from box, its parent basically. Click on refresh. So what is happening here? The thing is, this is the container. This is my container. It like has this border of 2 pixels solid and white. See, this is the border of like 2 pixels solid and white, and it what animation it is like doing? It is doing orbit 4 seconds. So let me just check one by one. What if I just write orbit here? Let's see what happens. It will not move at all because it does not know for how many duration I have to like move it. So let me just give it the duration of like how much was given. Okay, let me just give it a duration of 4 seconds. So it will move for 4 seconds, and then it will come to its designated position only. What has happened, it moved, started with 0 degrees, moved to 360 degrees, and then came back to its position. Okay, then what I can do is I can give it a linear like property. Then what will happen, this will move 360 degrees, move back to its designated position. I want it to move like linearly. Okay, so at its designated position it should have linear axis. Then I want it to move infinitely, so I will give infinite. So it will move like continuously without stopping. So this is like the animation. Okay, then let me give the border animations. So what the box is having the animation, it's having an animation of like a white ball. There is a white like ball, and we have a 2 second duration to this, and then it should also be infinite, like it's also infinite, it's moving along on that particular orbit. Okay, so let me just comment this out. I have this animation duration of 2 seconds, and it should like iteration count there is like it should move like infinitely. Then animation direction will be normal. Timing function is basically linear, same as like this function. You can check about the timing function or like what is there described on Google. Then we have animation fill mode. It's like animation fill mode will be forwards, like animation will move in the forwards direction. Then I have this border radius of 50%, which will give it like the circular. See, it's moving on its own with the animation that we have provided it. Okay, understood? Yeah, just like planets rotation and revolution. So I have defined keyframe here, from rotate from 0 degree and transform to 360 degrees. Then I have this another keyframe slide in, and we can also add it like to our animation. I think we have applied slide in animation on some other, like on loader something, like we have applied it on loader. So that's why it's like changing. This loader is also changing accordingly. So we can add animations on our own by creating animations on our own using the keyframes. Okay, now we'll start with the javascript part. Since all of the css properties require practice, so try practicing them on your own. You should just like understand the syntax for now. It's there is no need to like remember all the things. Okay, of what, just we should like know the syntax of everything. So now we are going to heading towards the javascript part. Let me just open this file. Okay, so what is there present? I have given h1. Another thing to note is that how to like start writing the JavaScript file. We write our style sheet, like the link of our style sheet to on this, like in this particular portion. Here I write my styles.css, and then it starts like working. Okay, but for like linking my javascript file, what we do is we write script. Okay, script, and inside the script we have this src, and inside this src what we write is we write app.js. Okay, app.js, we'll create a new file and we'll write my javascript code in this. Okay, let me check notes. So in notes I've also stated that we have to add script source app.js in our html file, and it is the last line of the body. We should always write like my script file on the last line of my body, not inside my head section but on the last line of my body. Okay, then it is always better because like it reads whole code from starting to the ending of html, and then it applies javascript, so it's always a better practice. Now to print we write console.log statements. We write console.log, and we can also create variables and use them in the console. So suppose I have this index.html. I have linked my script file with like index.html. Let me just open my app.js. This is my JS file. Okay, let me comment everything out. This is my like script file. For checking if my script file app.js file is connected to my html, what I'll do, I will start writing by an alert. Okay, alert hello javascript. As soon as I write this, go back, hit on refresh, I will get an alert saying hello JavaScript. Okay, is this visible? Is this alert visible? Just you can try writing it on your own. When I click on refresh, an alert will be displayed on my browser which will say hello JavaScript. Okay, so this particular, are you all able to see alert? Can you say yes or no if you are able to see the alert when I refreshed on the like browser? Okay, let me just continue further. I suppose you are able to see this alert if I'm not getting any response. So I have written here like this alert and I'm getting hello JavaScript. Okay. Similar to this, I can write console.log. Okay. Hello, I am inside a JavaScript file. I save, go back, hit on refresh. I see nothing. If I right click on my browser, click on inspect, go to the like console, go to my, I have this elements portion and I go to my console. So I will be able to see console log that I did. Hello, I am inside my JavaScript file and it's coming from, it's also showing it's coming from app.js line number 1. So that's how I write like the console.log. Okay. Let's suppose I want to like add a number. So I can also like uh, I can also write console.log 3 or 4. Suppose I give this, hit on refresh, I will get this 4 number using my app.js line 2. I can also like do multiplication, addition, subtraction in my JavaScript just like any other like language that we do. Suppose I give let a equal to like b, let a equal to 10, let b equal to 20, and I can say let, or I can say like console.log a plus b. I can also like perform arithmetic operations with my like JavaScript. If I hit on refresh, I will get 30. 10 plus 20 is 30. Similarly, I can store this in sum also. Sum equal to a plus b. Okay, go back, hit on refresh. I will get like, let me just change it to sum. If I just pass this sum here, click on refresh, I will again get 30. So that's how I can perform, like I can also use here minus or multiplication. 10 into 20 will be 200. Suppose 10 into 20 will be 200, so I am getting by multiplication 200. I can also divide this. 10 divided by 20 will be somewhat 0, so 0. 0.5, so I am getting 0. 0.5. See, it's like on its own like understanding the data type, like it's the double data type, so we are getting 0. 0.5. Similarly, what I can do is I can also like generate random numbers. So let me say let x equal to math. I can use this math function, and there are a lot of like math functions: math dot square root, math dot log, math dot like a cos, and a lot of things. So for now, I'm using math dot random. Okay. As soon as I write here math dot random, and I, what do I do? I console log x for my math dot random. I hit on refresh, I will get some random number, 0.33, something like that. This I again refresh, I will get some another random number, 0.66. So this generates like random numbers in my like points. A lot of random numbers will be generated. So there are a lot of like math functions. Okay, so yeah, so I can get a lot of like random numbers using this. Then what I can do is I can also use like the conditional statements. Suppose I want to say if my x, okay, if my x is like greater than sum, if my x, suppose this is my x and this is my sum, suppose my x is greater than sum, that I then I want to console dot log you are correct. Okay, somewhat like this, you are correct, you or something like that. And if I just write else here and I go to console.log, you can try later, something like this. So what will happen, it will check if my x is bigger than sum, then it will console log this, and if my x is like smaller, it will give this. Okay, so let me just refresh. So what has happened is my x is in particular greater than my sum. See, this is my x and this is my sum. So clearly x is greater than sum. So I'm getting you are correct. Let me again refresh it. I'm again correct since it's bigger. Let me just again. So now my random number x is generating 0.29. I'm getting zero point 0.5 as sum. So it has given me the else portion. You can try later. Similarly, I can just try it and I will get different like output in my conditional statements. Fine. Okay. So now that's about like mat.random and the conditionals. So that's how we use console.log, and we can write sum. We can use mat.random functions. I can also just like write let root, okay, root equal to math dot sqrt. So suppose I want square root of 2. I go back, hit on refresh, then I will get a square root of like 2. I will console log here root, console log dot log root. Then I will get square root of 1.414, square root of 2. That's how we can, yeah, like add computational mathematical calculations in our basically file. Okay. So this is like my conditionals. Similarly, I can also like write one thing. I can also do here. Suppose I go back to my app.js, just clean everything from here. Suppose I want to generate one prompt. Prompt is something where some alert will be generated and I will be able to write something in it. So suppose I want to like create a prompt. Hello, welcome to first JS file. Refresh, close this console for now, and see, I am getting this prompt and I can write something in this prompt. It's not like plain alert, but I can write something in this. So this is like my prompt. Okay, what I can do is I can store this value of prompt. So let me store this value in some let me just store this prompt's value that I am typing here in some value, and what I'll do is I will console log it. I will just console log value, refresh, go back, I've generate a prompt. So I will write hello, I am present, something like this, I am present. Okay, I hit on okay. So no changes. If I go to inspect and go to console, then you can see that I am able to console log the value that I typed at that like at in the prompt, using the prompt. Similarly, let me refresh it again. Let me write something like this. Let me write my name. I select OK, and I'll be able to display this in my console.log. Okay. Okay. So that's how we use like the prompt in our code. Then what we have after prompt. hmm Okay, so we have done the prompt part. Okay, now this is like we can do a lot of computations in my in like my app.js file, in my js file using console.log. I can also like perform mathematical calculations in prompt also. Suppose I say let a prompt calculate some values. Okay, let sum equal to prompt. Okay, and I will write something here like uh, calculate sum or something like that. Okay, I can also like add my mathematical values in it, and I console.log Let me just do it some another way. Let a equal to prompt. Okay, given prompt, enter the value of a. Okay, similarly I will make another prompt. I can make more than one prompt. So I make a prompt of let b equal to prompt, enter the value of b. Then what I do is I console.log value of a is a. Okay, console.log value of b is b. Console.log sum is a plus b. Okay. Yeah, I've applied this in like brackets. Let's check like what happens. I refresh. Okay. Okay, prompt prompt. I am not getting this particular thing. Okay, let me just add one prompt. Prompt is not defined. I'm writing like spelling mistake of something. Let me just prompt. Okay, prompt. This is the spelling of prompt. Okay, value of uh, a is plus a, value of b is plus b, sum equal to a plus b, and console.log sum is plus sum. Refresh. Enter the value of a. So suppose I enter the value of a as 7. I am asked to enter the value of b. I added as 5. 7 plus 5. See, for now, what I am getting is I am getting something like 75. Okay, so it's not. Why this has happened? This has happened because it's not considering it as like a numeric value. It's considering it as a string value. So I'll explain it to you in some time how we can change it to like numeric characters. But for now, just try understand that we have added a and b as strings. Okay, see, this is like a is a string type and b is also a string type. So I can like change this value to something. I'll explain you how we can do this in some time. I remove all of this. Understood this part? Okay. So now let's start with the like the arrays in JavaScript. Okay. So for let me just copy this or just leave it here. What I can do is I will go to app.js. Okay, so my previous this was my previous app.js file. So arrays are like a list of variables. Okay, like I can like add more than one like value in this array basically. So suppose I say let a equal to, and I like add the square bracket, something like this. So I write square bracket, uh, red comma, then I pink comma orange, something like this. And what I do is I just write console.log a. Okay, refresh, go back to my web page, hit on refresh. Then you can see I am getting this like array in my list, the list of like variables. If I just console log on a, so I can do like a lot of calculations in this. Okay, like I can write like mixed values also. Suppose I want to write let mixed, okay, equal to red or 2 or null, and I can write ping. These four values, they're of different data types. Like I can also write here true, something like this. Let's check what happens. And I just console.log mixed here. Okay. I go back, hit on refresh, then I will also get this value as my array result. Okay, so this is also considered as an array. Suppose now what I want to do is I want to add something. Let just a second. Just a second. There are different like methods in JavaScript. I will explain you in some time. I have them in my like uh, in some time I have it. I'll explain it. So suppose let me just connect my charger. Just wait for some time. Till then, revise what I like taught you. Okay, so I was telling you about that we there are different methods that we can use in this array, like to add or remove values in array. For example, I can add more values in this like a array. Suppose I write a dot push, and what I do is I add suppose violet color in this, violet. Okay, violet color. Then I'll try console log again this a value, my a array. Let's check what happens. This is before and this is like after. Okay, let me just add here console dot log, and I will give here like the before thing. Okay, just a second. Yes, so I was saying that if I write like my push in for violet, okay, I push the values for violet, then what will happen is I will get this like violet color added to my array. Okay, before pushing it was like this red, pink, and orange, and after pushing I will be getting red, pink, orange, and violet. Similarly, I can also like pop values in it. If I just select a dot pop, okay, refresh, then my last value, like last value will be like removed. Let me just console log a. Okay, if I go back, hit on refresh, see my last value has been removed after I pop it, basically. So this as before pushing this was red, pink, and orange. After pushing it's red, pink, orange, and violet. And after doing the pop, basically I have removed the violet. Again, if I just write it more than once, a dot pop, I'll be able to remove more of the like things. If I do this again, a dot pop, then it will be done again. Okay, I will be able to remove all of these things. Similarly, I can push more than one values. I can push this violet also multiple times. violet violet. I can also do this like multiple times. Violet. See, I have added them multiple times. So these are the two methods of writing, like pushing and popping the values in array, JavaScript array. Then what I have is, after pushing it, yeah. So this is about the arrays in JavaScript basically. There are like different methods. Suppose I have this ARR 123. I showed you just right now. So this is suppose my array, and we want to like access ARR 10 equal to 10, then array will become 1 2 3 and empty up till 10. So let's try this. What they are saying is, let me just remove everything. Okay, let me just say let a equal to 2 3 4. I can access the values in it. Suppose I write console.log a zero value, the zeroth value of a. So what will be the first value? It will be this one value. Okay, zeroth index, it will be one. If I console this log, then I will get one. If I write here second value, this is like the number 3. If I just refresh, I will get 3. So they are saying, if I what I do, let me just write a tenth value as 10. Okay, there is no 10th index here, but I have defined this 10th value as a. If I console log on this basically particularly a, then let's see what happens. Everything will be empty up till 10, so this will be displayed on my screen. So that's what they're trying to like say. Push adds the element, shifts remove from the start, unshift add to the start. Okay, they are also the different methods. Then we have the concat, like we can add more than two arrays. Suppose this is my first array, and this is my second array, 5 6 7 and 8. I can What I can do is I can concat a. Let me just check the syntax. Yeah, so I can say a dot concat b, and let me just console dot log a. Okay, I have done this. I have done this. Let me just refresh. See, I am getting 1 2 3 4 here. And just a second. Let's see, equal to a dot concat and c. C. So I have taken this C value as a. I have given this a dot concat value to the C value, and I have console log it. So I'm getting the whole like merged array in this. So there are a lot of like different methods, and as you had seen previously, my original arrays will not be modified. Like my A will not be modified and my B will not be modified. If I just console log A and B, I will get them as they were before. Console.log A and console.log B, they will be received just as before they were. Okay, they will be received just as they were previously. Then what I have is, they are like includes a particular, they will give, if array includes a particular value, array dot index of, these are like different methods in array. Array dot reverse, this will just reverse everything. Okay, array dot slice, array dot splice, you can just go through them and just try using them one by one. They are the conditional statements, like if 1 2 3 is equal to equal to 1 2 3, so I will be getting what. Okay, then 1 2 3 and 1 2 3, I will be getting what. So what is there present, like that is given here, and we write equal to in JavaScript as this. Let's try it. Suppose I have a and b. Okay, and I want to just see if they both arrays are equal. So I will write console.log a triple equal to b. Let's see what I like get display in between. So what I'm getting is I'm getting false. Why? Because a and b are actually different. Okay, so let me just make them same. 1 2 3 and 4. Go back, click on refresh, click on refresh. A triple equal to b, I'm getting false again. So why I am getting false again in this case? Can anyone explain? What we can add in between the arrays, concatenation option like adds at the end of basically my array. Let's check it with like different methods also. If a equal b, okay, let's check. We are also getting false, and let's check it with 1 2 3, and 1 2 3 is done. Let's just try it by single variable. Okay, if a of 0 is equal to b of 0, let's check what we are getting here. So you can see that we cannot like compare two arrays based on like this single equal to, but we can compare one single elements. So this one thing is to make sure that these triple equal to signs work only for single element and not for arrays. Okay, so this is about the like equal to sign, this equal to and triple equal to sign. Let's check what this triple equal to sign is giving us. It's also giving us true in this case. So this will only work for like our, see, javascript don't compare content, it compares the references in memory. Okay, it compares the addresses basically. So 1 2 3 is not equal to 1 2 3 because they are separate. Okay, they are completely different arrays. Then we can copy it, and it will also be like if I copy this array in some other array, then I will get true because this is copy only. Okay, this is not like they both have different memories, but it's copy of like this value, so they will be same. Then you can use const nums and can still update it, but if you can't reassign, like I cannot reassign the variable. So there are basically three types of variables in javascript: var, let, and const. Okay, there are three types of variables. So var, what var does is var lets you change the variables here. Like I can change this variables at a time, I can assign different values to it. Let also does the same, but const does not let me change the name of my variables after I have initialized them. Okay, now I have nested arrays. Suppose I have this particular array, I can make nested arrays here also. Like this is the first one, this is my second one. I can also make like nested arrays in it. Okay, if I refresh console log a only, then you can see I am able to display like nested arrays here. So I can also write nested arrays in this in my code. I can also have arrays of mixed data type. I already told you about this. Okay. Then another thing that I have is the in JavaScript is like loops. So what are loops basically? So we can like iterate over objects. So you might have like viewed it. Suppose I have one array. Let me just write it here. Suppose I have let a equal to 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, I want to iterate over them, so I will use for let for a is equals to what I can say. Let me just starting with the first syntax. Okay, here what I have taken is let person in test course. Okay, so what the person in test course means, I will say the let a or let value. Okay, value, this is my any name, you can give it any name, in a. Okay, let value in a, and what I will do is I will console.log this particular value in a. Okay, console.log value. Let me check if the syntax is correct. Yeah, so what this value means is, this value is the key. This key will iterate one over the other, this 1 2 3 and 4, and this will be displayed in my console.log. Okay, let me just refresh, go back. See, this was my first value in for second, third, and fourth. So that's how my for loop like works. It iterates over all the elements in my array, and it displays like something on the screen. Suppose I want to print like first 10 numbers. Okay, suppose I want to like just add first 10 numbers. There are like two syntaxes of writing for loops. First one is this. First one is this method: let I equal to 1, I less than 10, I plus plus. Let's try writing this. Let's try writing this, what we see on the screen. So this is something what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to like let I equal to 1, it will start with the first value and then it will move to 10, and we'll be able to console log the first 10 values in the like table. See, this is first, second, third, and up till 10 values. So using this syntax also we can create a for loop. Okay, so this is like the first value. After that what we have is, yeah, looping over array. Just like in C++, we loop over the array, and we can use this syntax also that I used this previously. Let x of array, x is some variable which is iterating over the array. So that's about the for loop. There are also different loops like for loop. There is also while loop and do while loop. It also works in the same manner like this. Now here I have used this while loop also. So I have initialized this empty tasks array, and I have generated one like this is query variable, and takes the value from prompt. What would you like to do basically? So if my query is like, I have given this while loop, so up till my query is quit and not quit, and query is not equal to q, I will just continue with this loop. That's how while loop works. It's also similar to how it works in C++ basically. So what this code is about, let me tell you. This is a to-do list basically. We are creating a to-do list app basically. Let me just remove it. Okay, yeah, okay, I'll share the notes. So first of all we'll get a prompt. So as I have written here, what I'm getting is, uh, I am if I write new here, then I'll be able to add a new task. Let me just open console also. Let me just write here new. I want to add a new task. So I will enter the task. I just want to like wake up. Okay, this is my task. Then brush your teeth will be my second task. Okay, it's coming again and again. So why it's working again, I have to enter a valid query also. Okay, so again and again, what would you like to do? It means I want to add a like new, I want to add a new task. Okay, first of all what I added wake up. Okay, I will then added have a like have breakfast. Okay, I've added this task. Then I will like to again add a new task. I will click on enter, and I will just write complete assignments. I have written this. Click on enter. And what would you like to do? In this case, I will use this list portion basically. Okay, so it will list all my values in console. I will quit this and I will open the console. If I go to console, then you can see that they all the things that I was writing there have been added. Wake up added to the break, added to the list. Have breakfast added to the list. Complete assignments having added to the list. And then what I am able to see, I am able to see the list basically. So how can we develop a to-do list similar to this? So this is the code for it. So I have written HTML, simple plain HTML, the head section and then the body section. In this I have this h1 to-do list and the list items defining what we have to do. If I write in my prompt new, then I will be able to add a task. If I write list, then I will be able to list all tasks. If I write delete, then I will be able to delete the task, and quit, I'll be able to quit the app. Okay, let me just, and then I have added the script with app.js. I'll open app.js file also. Yeah, so this is my app.js file. First of all, I have taken an empty tasks arrays. I will fill this up. Then I have generated prompt, what would you like to do? Okay, with, and I have stored what I would like to do in this query. Then I will check if in the condition up till my query is not equal to quit, this while loop will continue working, and I will be able to like get the prompts. Then query is not equal to q. Then if my query is equal to new, if I write q in like new in my prompt, then I will be given another prompt, enter a new task, and then I'll be able to push that task in the tasks my array, and that will be filled. If I just console.log, then this will be displayed, added to the list. Else if my query is the list, then I will be displayed the list. If my query is delete, then I will like delete the specified like the specified my task. Okay, parse int, what parse int does, it searches for like what task I have to delete. Enter the task you want to delete, then I will get that particular task, and then that task will be deleted. Okay, by using this splice function. And if nothing will be no other queries that I have like defined here, they will come, then I will get an alert saying I didn't understand that, please enter a valid query. And at the end I would be getting what would I like to do. And at the end, if I am not getting anything, like if I'm getting the quitting, so okay, quitting the app. So that's how we can like develop this to-do list app. You try developing this on your own up till what we have like try doing this on your own. Try building this to-do list app using javascript and generating the prompts. You'll be able to like complete it with all the like information that we have studied up till now. Let's start like our portion with some introduction about data types and variables. They are very important in javascript basically. So primitive data types, like there are different types of data types: the number data type, string, boolean, null, undefined, the sim, this is the symbol, and the and everything. Okay, we have this in our code, this different types of primitive data types. So what happens here is javascript has one number type. Okay, so in number type, what is there? Positive, negative, whole number, decimal numbers, all of these numbers come in this number type. Okay, operations, parenthesis, expo, multiple division, addition, subtraction, all of these operations can be performed on number data type. And how we use this exponentiation, we just write this in place of the arrow symbol for exponentiation, we write two star symbols, and we get 2 to the power 3 equal to 8. And nan, what does nan mean? Nan means a number that is undefined, that is not present. Okay, if suppose I have this 0 by 0 number, and I say that okay, I this is not a defined number 0 by 0, so I will say 1 plus nan is a number that is undefined. Now type of variables. So if I just take let variable name equal to value. Okay, so I will be able to change this value again after writing a bunch of code. And if I just write const, then const variables, I will not be able to change it later in the code. I will not be able to change the value in later in the code. And if I just write var, it is the old way to declare variables, but there is no reason to use it now. Okay, it does not have a like block scope. So where there is no reason to not use it now or use it now, we can use any like let or var. Const we use when we don't allow values to be changed later in the code. Okay, And in javascript, variables data types can be changed. Now next up we have the string data type basically. So what are these strings? Strings have the inbuilt properties like str. If I write anything inside this, like quotation marks, then I will get this string basically. So they have the property of concatenation. Suppose I write console.log lol plus again the exclamation mark lol, then I will get what? Concatenation. Okay, now we can't update one character at a time. We must reassign the variable. Okay, suppose I have 1 plus high, so how this will be concatenated? It will be concatenated as 1 high. It will not be considered as number, just as happened before to us. Okay, so there are a lot of like methods of string that we can write in javascript, like str dot to uppercase, str dot trim. Then we can also like chain the methods together. Suppose I want to do what? Str dot trim, then dot str dot to uppercase, then we can write, it will be happening in left and right execution. Okay, let me just give one example. Suppose what I want to do is I want to like change this new word. I want to change this heading to like have this string value as what I can say, to uppercase. So in that case I will write this variable, this particular new variable, query dot to uppercase here. Hmm. Query dot to uppercase, and if I want to like trim it also, I want to trim, then I will write dot trim, so it will get trimmed. Okay, so there are also just like array methods, there are also a lot of string methods in javascript. That's how we can chain the methods together. See, this is str dot index of, I can get index of a substring. I can slice it, like I can slice it by the begin index and the end index. You can also check these in W3 schools. You'll be able to practice them from there also. I can also replace a particular string if I want to replace it basically. If I want to repeat a string, I can use this repeat value. Now how we write like the numbers basically. Okay, so suppose I want to write let me just create a new file. Have you understood the part up till now? Okay, so for now let me just start with writing something. Just take some plain app.js file. Okay, so suppose I have this index.html file. Just a second. Okay, so suppose I have this page. I open this in my browser, open my console, and let's check what happens. I've removed everything, so a blank console I'll be getting here. So suppose I want to write something like I want to write a number basically. I let a value is equal to 7. Suppose I want this to be considered as value only in my code. So what I can do is I can write console.log to be considered this is value. Okay, and I want to like write 7 here. So what I'll do, I'll add dollar symbol and this basically, and I'll write value here. Okay, just a second. I hope I have written this correct. Yeah, so what I'll do is just remove this, add these symbols. Okay, so whenever you write this you have to add this like slanting symbol, the slanting symbol, and what you will be able to do is this is value and then the dollar symbol and value. Then let's see what is displayed on my console. This is value 7. Similarly I can like we were having the problem previously, let a equal to 5 and let b equal to 7. So if I sum both of them, if I add both of them, I write here a plus b, hit on refresh and go back, then in this case I'll be able to get 12. If I have not used this dollar symbol and I have just like plainly written it here in as in like this a plus b, then I will get a string type of value. Okay, I will get it like connected value. Okay, if I cannot like write values inside this also, a plus b, if I write it like this I'll not be able to like receive anything. So that's how I can use like dollar symbol inside and add this inside my string basically. They are template letters basically. I counted 3 plus 4 sheep, so I counted 7 sheeps. They only work with black tick characters, so they will not work with like double quotes, they will work with back tick characters only. You bought dollar quantity products, so that's how I can write the values also here. Null is an intentional, like null is value that is not present. We can, if we do not know the value of anything, so by default it will be defined as null. Okay, undefined they are like not assigned, and I by default set to like undefined. Suppose the variables that are not assigned to us, they will be defined as undefined variables. Then there are also lot of like math functions that we can use, like I told you earlier, the mat.random function. Similarly I have mat.py, mat.round, mat.absolute, mat.pow, mat.floor, and mat.random. So to convert a number string to a number, like suppose I have this number, I will use parseInt. So suppose I have a plus suppose I have these as like 5, this as string 5 as string. So I can, what I can do, if I just console log a now, then I will get this 5 value as a string. I will get this 5 value as a string data type. If I just hover on it, I will get this value as a string data type. So suppose I want to change it, I want to change it just a second. If I add a plus b, I will given 5 5 7. Okay, I will get 5 7 in this case. Suppose I want to add both of them, so what I can do is I can use parse int a, and b is in like string form only, so I don't need to change it. So this has now changed to like number. I refresh, then I will get 12 in this case. Okay, so that's how I can change a string to a number basically using the parseInt value. So this was about the string in JavaScript. And there are also like boolean logics that I told you about. This is the strict equality, they should be strictly equal including the memory. And this is the strict inequality. We can compare strings by using this double equal to symbol. So they are compared on the basis of like unicode character sets. Double equal, what double equal means, double equal checks for equality of value but not equality of data type. Okay, it checks the value but it does not check the data type. Suppose this is one, this is integer, and this is like string, so both of them will be same. Let's just try it once. Suppose I have console dot log check if 1 is equal to like 1. Okay, what should come is false, since 1 is an integer and this one is a string, so this should come false. Let's check what is like being displayed. True is getting displayed when I am using this equal to symbol. Okay, double equal to. What if I use triple equal to? I click on refresh, I will get false. So this is more stricter version and this is more specific. So we should just check what type of like equal to we want to use. This checks for equality of value and also data type. So we should always use this triple equal to symbol. Okay. Console.clear time one direction. They also can be used. Suppose I want to clear this particular like false, I can write it here also. I can write console.clear. If I write this, just a second, console.clear. I can write the commands here also. Enter. Then my console will be cleared. So there are also like lot of options. Console.time. Suppose I want to like generate the time of something. So I will write console.time. Okay, console.time. This will be undefined because I don't have time right now in my any of the variables. Then I can generate this alert and this prompt and everything that I told you earlier about. So this is the boolean logic. So I hope you guys have understood about the basic javascript here portion here. After this we'll start understanding about the like intermediate portion of the javascript, which is comparatively tough from like normal javascript. So let me just start with the like some of the portion of intermediate javascript. So just like we have created different arrays and functions in JavaScript, we can also create like arrays and like strings in JavaScript. We can also create functions in JavaScript. For example, suppose I want to create a function sing, okay, which does this particular like thing, do, re, and my. So how can I like use this? Okay, let me just uh, describe this. Suppose I have written function do sing. Okay, did this, and I have written console.log and inside this singing. Okay, now what to do? I can just call this function do sing. Okay, how to call this? I will call it like this. Fine, I have written this like this. So let me just go back, click on refresh. You can see I have called this function, so it is saying singing inside the console.log. Okay, let me just call it again, do sing. Singing will be called two times. I can like call this multiple times. That's how the function property works in JavaScript. After JavaScript we'll be starting with, let me just check. After JavaScript we'll be starting with with its asynchronous nature, uh, and then we'll be starting with the node part. Okay, the ajax and the api portion, we'll start with this, the request and response. And after that we'll start with the prototypes and the node.js. So do sing is what I have received here. So that's how I can call functions. I can also use like one function inside another function. Suppose I have let a equal to sing a song, okay, and I can add another function here, function use a, okay, and I can just console dot log a here. I have used here do sing function, and I inside this function I have used this function, basically use a, okay. I will call this function inside this function. This is like the complex part. The function do sing has a function inside it, and we can use it, we can call it again. Let's check what is happening. Sing a song. So I'm getting what? I'm getting console.log a sing a song, okay. And I'm using this like multiple times because I'm calling it multiple times, so I'm using it multiple times. Suppose I remove everything from here, I call this use a function a lot of times here, two times. So sing a song will be displayed two times on my screen, okay. So that's how we can create nested functions also in JavaScript. Fine. Okay, nested functions. Hmm. So I told you about this, like we can create functions like this, nested functions. Child nested function is access to variable defined in the parent function. Then you can treat a function as a value, including storing it in the variable. Then I have functions are values, we can store it, pass it around, etc. So that's how in intermediate JavaScript we use functions. What are the higher order functions? Higher order functions are functions that can accept other functions as a return function. So suppose I have this, okay, do sing, and it can accept, this do sing function can accept use a function inside it. So do sing function is a higher order function, okay. Do sing function here, call twice function is a higher order function, roll die function is a higher order function. So these are the higher order functions. Now a method is just a function that has been placed as a property of an object. It's just like a property, okay. So method is just a function. So we can write like if we don't use the function like keyword, and I use const, then in that case this will be called a method, okay. This will be called a method. Suppose I write, suppose I remove this, I write const uh, what I can say, hello, okay. Const hello equal to console.log hello. Then this particular thing will be called method, this will not be called function, okay. This is also shorthand like square num, this is also method. Now what this keyword means, so this keyword is being like we study this in oops, basically its value depends on how the function is, like how the function is called. So cat dot, like it's here, so meow will be called in the context of cat object, okay. And this will be like we use this function basically in oops, okay. Let me just search an example. You can just search it on the web how this function, like this keyword works in JavaScript. It's just like what we do in oops basically. Now we have the try and catch blocks. Let me just show you. We can also use the try and catch blocks in JavaScript. Suppose I have this inside my function try, okay. So try, if my, like if I will try this particular thing, I will try console.logging this particular thing. If it is a success, then this will end, this will like go out. If it is a fail, then we will catch the error as e, and then we will console.log please please pass a string name. Like we will console log when I will receive an error, it will catch this. So it is like it improves the code readability a lot. So we print the error by using this. If we want to print the error on screen, we use this particular like try and catch blocks basically. So this is how try and catch blocks work. Okay, now we have this callback values. Suppose I have this function and I want to like use something. So this is the callback value. I will pass in my function. uh, Let me just create some examples for callback. So up till now, let's revise what we have studied up till now. We are left with a little bit of things in JavaScript, like the callback array, set timeout function, and a destructuring part only. So we'll like continue with these things tomorrow, the destructuring part, the callback value, and everything, and then we'll start with the node part, like the fetching and the HTTP part. Okay. So meanwhile, what we studied about different concepts. Like we studied about the to-do list, how we can create a to-do list by generating queries. We studied about different types of loops, like there are three types of loops: for loop and while loop. And do while loop is present in C++. We don't use it that much in JavaScript. Then we studied about variables, and then we studied about strings, how we concatenate strings, how we concatenate, like we also studied about the arrays, then the Boolean logic, the if and else part, and intermediate JavaScript part, that we studied about different functions, how we can write functions in JavaScript, how we can like add more than one functions inside a function, and then how we like level up these functions, basically how we can create higher order functions, how we pass values in it, and about the try and catch block. So that's how just we use methods in a lot of places, like inside functions we use methods, uh, uh, and a lot of places where like this keyword again. Let me show you this keyword with an example. Just a second. I can show you about this keyword. Methods can be used in a lot of places where functions are used. The like the use case depends on what you want to like build basically. Let me just check one this keyword example. See, I have like this particular example. Okay, so what this keyword is doing, like I have first name of John. Let me just zoom it a bit. I have like the first name of John here, and I have defined one like full name function. Inside, if it's for full name, I have defined one function which will return this dot first name and this dot last name. So what this means, what this particular thing is here present, what this is doing. So it will like get element in an HTML, and then it will use this full name basically. So this dot first name means that of this particular method use the first name. I can have a lot of first name above also, but I have to use first name of this particular method only, of person method. So that is what this is defining here. So John will be written here, this dot first name, and this dot last name means like this last name of this particular method only. So this dot last name, and both of them will be concatenated, and we'll be able to get like John Doe name. So this is used to like define what basically we are going to create. Suppose I can also say first name. I can also say like this: first name, let first name equal to Ramsha. Okay. I have now we have two variables of the same name, first name and first name here. Okay. Let's run and check what happens. Just a second. I can create this another object also, and when I like use this, then my only this particular first name will work for inside this like const function. I have to create another function here. So that's how this use. I guess you are able to like understand the use of this. Okay, try completing the like to-do list app using JavaScript, and we meet tomorrow for like starting with the JavaScript Ajax and like asynchronous part. It's a relatively like tough part of JavaScript. Do you have any like doubts? You can ask in the chat itself. You can ask all your doubts for today's session if you want for the next 4 to 5 minutes. I don't have the information of where we have to submit these tasks. Uh, so yeah, I'll ask them to share the notes. I have shared them already, so I'll ask them to share the notes. So I guess we can end the session for now. I'll ask them to share it once again if you have not received the notes. Yes. I've shared with them, I'll ask them. You meanwhile if you are not getting the codes, I have referenced all these notes from W3 schools, so you can refer it if you want to practice. W3 schools HTML, W3 schools CSS, and W3 schools JavaScript. All of these contains exercises also, so you can practice meanwhile from them up till you are not getting the like codes. I'll try working on the like projects, but I think that due to time constraints, we'll not be able to do that. Okay, so we'll meet tomorrow starting with the asynchronous JavaScript and the node part. Thank you everyone, and have a nice day.